Hi, it's Doug. Summertime. Summertime's such a fun season, isn't it? When I was a kid, I loved summer. During the summer, I spent a lot of time outside and I got to go swimming at the pool. On a hot day, nothing was better than a cool swim. When I got out of the pool, I could sit in the sunlight to warm up. The sun would shine brightly, sometimes so brightly that I got too hot and it would be uncomfortable. So I'd move into the shade where it was cooler. Sometimes, at the pool on a really hot day, the pavement would soak up the heat from the sun. If I tried to walk on the pavement with bare feet, ow, it hurt my feet to walk on. Now, I grew up near the city of Chicago, and it got pretty hot there. But some places get even hotter in the summer. For example, there is a city called Phoenix, Arizona, in the United States that got so hot in the summer of 2017 that plastic trash cans started to melt. I'm not making this up. It was so hot that paint was melting off the street signs. One person took a picture driving to work wearing oven mitts to keep from burning her hands on the steering wheel of her car. Another person was actually able to bake cookies in his car. Hopefully, it doesn't get as hot as this where you live, but you've probably still experienced hot things in the summer. What are some of the things you've noticed that get really hot in the sun? In the hot summer, the challenge is to stay cool. Usually we want to get out of the sun's heat in the summer, like by sitting in the shade. But in other seasons, we might want to get into the sun's heat, especially in winter when it gets cold. Then you definitely wouldn't want to be in the shade. But what if you were stuck in the shade? Well, let me tell you a story about a town that is always in the shade in wintertime. This takes place in a small town in the country of Norway. Norway gets very cold in winter, and this little town gets especially cold. It's at the bottom of a valley, and the mountains around the town block the sun for long parts of the day during the winter. There was a person living in this town who was an artist and inventor, someone who comes up with new ideas. He noticed that people in the town really missed seeing the sun and were sad that they couldn't enjoy the sun's heat at all during the winter. At the center of the town square, it was covered in snow and ice. No one in the town wanted to spend time there because it was so cold. The inventor wanted people to be able to enjoy being outside in the winter. He couldn't move the town since it was already built, and he couldn't move the sun itself, but he wondered, could he move the sunshine to the town? What would you do if you were this inventor? How could you bring the sun's light and heat to this town in the winter? So, did you figure out a way to get sunlight to your paper model of Chill City? Maybe you found out that you could use shiny material, like this aluminum foil, to shine light down onto Chill City. You could take a flat piece of shiny foil and reflect it over a big area of the town. That way, you could bring some sunlight to the town square and the playground at the same time. Or maybe you discovered that bending a flat piece of shiny foil could make one spot a lot brighter and warmer. Then you could take that bright spot of sunlight and shine it on the town square or on the playground, but just not both at the same time. And maybe you tried something really different, like this. We found out that our piece of clear plastic worked almost as well as the shiny foil. So we used that to warm up the town too. Notice how there's more than one way to solve the problem? That's often true when you're solving problems. There's almost always more than one way to solve a problem. Now, what about in real life? I mentioned that this was a real town, in a real place, in Norway, and that there was an inventor who was trying to solve the problem of getting more light and warmth to the town in winter. So what did the inventor do? Well, just like you noticed in the activity, the inventor noticed that shiny things, like aluminum foil, take light and shine it to another spot. The inventor knew that a mirror was a good example of this. A mirror could do this too. So he came up with a plan, a way to collect the sun's heat and warm the town. This was his plan. He put a bunch of large mirrors at the top of one of the mountains surrounding the town. He turned the mirrors just right to shine the sun's light down to the town. Now, light and heat from the sun could reach the town, but just in one spot in the town square. See? Here's what it looks like. It was perfect. Here's what the town square looked like from the sky above the town. People came to the town square for a party in the sun. They even set up a sand volleyball game and lounge chairs for sunbathing. The inventor had come up with a solution to bring sunlight to the part of the town during the cold, dark winter. Sometimes it seems like there's no way to solve a problem. Imagine how people in that town felt before the inventor came up with this solution. Many of them must have thought, there's no way you can bring the sun to us. Sometimes it can seem like there's no way. But if you think like an inventor, you say to yourself, there must be some way. And sure enough, you can almost always come up with some way to solve a problem. What problems in your town might you be able to solve if you think like an inventor? Think about that. Have fun and stay curious.